Imagine this. You're standing in front of a woman and you can feel something you can't quite put into words. Her body language shifts, her laughter sounds different, and her attention seems sharper when you're around. What's happening here is not random. It's a set of signals, often subtle, that reveal something profound. Attraction. But the real question is, can you recognize it? Can you understand what's happening beyond the surface? The philosopher Slavoj Žižek, often called the Elvis of cultural theory, has a peculiar way of describing desire. He says desire is never about the object itself, but about the way the other person mirrors our own fantasy back to us. In simpler terms, when someone is deeply attracted to you, what they are really showing you is not just affection, but a reflection of how they see you in their own imagined world. This is why attraction feels so powerful. It is not simply physical, it is symbolic. Stoicism, on the other hand, teaches us control, detachment, and the ability to interpret appearances without becoming enslaved by them. When we combine Zizek's radical understanding of desire with Stoic wisdom, we uncover an incredible truth. Women often reveal attraction not through direct words, but through repeated patterns of behavior, almost like rehearsed plays on the yaw stage of social life. So in today's motivational lesson, we will uncover 7 things a woman who is deeply attracted to you will always do in front of you. But more importantly, we will explore what these actions really mean, how you as a man can interpret them, not with insecurity or desperation, but with calm, stoic awareness and strength. Let's begin. Part 1. She seeks your eyes, then looks away. One of the first and most undeniable signs of deep attraction is in the eyes. When a woman is drawn to you, she will look at you, sometimes in fleeting glances, sometimes in longer stares. But here's the paradox. She will often look away the moment you meet her gaze. Zizek would say this is not simply shyness, but the drama of desire itself. Desire only exists because there is a gap, a tension, a dance of presence and absence. The woman's gaze creates that tension. When she looks at you, she opens a space of intimacy. When she looks away, she preserves the mystery, ensuring that the desire doesn't collapse into something ordinary. From a Stoic point of view, you as a man must not be enslaved by this gesture. Epictetus reminds us that external appearances are indifferent. What matters is how we interpret them. If you chase every glance with needy energy, you transform attraction into desperation. But if you remain grounded, meeting her gaze with calm, strength, you project stability, the very thing attraction craves. So remember, the eyes reveal desire, but they also reveal a test. Will you break under the weight of attention? Or will you remain composed, signaling that your value does not depend on validation? In practical terms, if she is always seeking your eyes in a group, if she glances to check whether you're looking, if she smiles and then turns her head away quickly, that is not accident. That is the unconscious theater of attraction. But here's the key lesson. It's not about the look itself, it's about how you respond. Stand firm, smile calmly, hold eye contact without flinching. In doing so, you transform a fleeting gesture into a powerful confirmation of her desire. Part 2. Her body turns toward you, even when her words do not. Another powerful sign is orientation. Watch her body. When a woman is deeply attracted to you, her entire posture begins to betray her interest. Even if she is speaking to someone else, her feet may point toward you. Her torso may shift in your direction. Her hair may fall toward you as she tilts her head in subtle acknowledgement of your presence. Zizek would argue that this is the language of ideology written on the body. Just as societies reveal hidden beliefs through rituals, the body reveals hidden desires through unconscious gestures. Attraction cannot always be spoken. It leaks out, it interrupts, it insists. The body becomes the stage on which desire plays out without permission. Now, the Stoics would remind us that these are impressions, not guarantees. Do not build castles of fantasy from a single posture, but do observe the repetition. If again and again in every social setting her body naturally aligns with yours, that is not coincidence. That is attraction-seeking expression. Notice also the contrast between words and body. She might act indifferent in her speech. Short answers, playful teasing, or even pretending you don't exist. But her body betrays her. The body cannot lie as easily as the tongue. This dissonance is crucial because it shows where her true attention is directed. From a motivational perspective, this teaches us a critical lesson in confidence. The man who panics at cold words misses the deeper truth. The man who remains observant, patient, and grounded sees the signs others ignore. He does not react to the surface. He reads the undercurrent. So the next time you are around a woman and notice her body turning toward you, her movements aligning with yours, her space orbiting closer to your presence, recognize it for what it is. Not random chance, but attraction revealing itself in the language of posture. Have you ever noticed that when you're with a woman who feels an unspoken attraction, she starts to unconsciously mirror your behavior? You cross your arms. Moments later, she crosses hers. You lean back. She leans back. You use certain phrases or jokes, and she subtly repeats them later in conversation. Now, why does this happen? Slavoj Žižek would say that desire is not purely about the other person. It is about becoming synchronized with the fantasy of the other. When a woman mirrors you, she is entering your rhythm, participating in your symbolic world. She is saying without words, I want to be aligned with you. From a Stoic perspective, this is fascinating, because the Stoics remind us that everything external is merely an impression. Yet impressions reveal tendencies. Mirroring is not something people do with everyone. It is reserved for those they wish to feel closer to. It's not just a social trick, it is a physical manifestation of subconscious attraction. But here's the important lesson. Do not become arrogant when you notice it. Do not point it out or tease her directly, because then you destroy the natural flow. Instead, remain calm, confident, and observant. Let her mirroring continue, because each moment builds a stronger invisible thread between you. In relationships, mirroring is one of the strongest indicators of connection. If she is always echoing your tone, adopting your words, or even laughing in rhythm with you, understand that this is not coincidence. This is attraction, disguised as synchronization. She is aligning her identity with yours as if saying, where you are, I want to be also. Part 4. She amplifies her femininity in your presence. Another undeniable sign appears when a woman becomes more feminine, more playful, or even more self-conscious about her appearance when you're around. You'll notice her fixing her hair more often, adjusting her clothes, softening her tone, or walking with a bit more rhythm. It's as if her entire being becomes attuned to presenting her best version in your presence. Zizek would argue that this is the mask of desire. He often says that we never desire a person directly, but the mask they wear, the performance they give us. When a woman amplifies her femininity in front of you, she is consciously or unconsciously stepping into a role. She is performing attraction. But here's the paradox. Though it is a performance, it is no less real. In fact, it is through the mask that her true desire reveals itself. From a Stoic standpoint, this is where you must remain disciplined. Do not lose yourself in flattery or vanity. Remember Marcus Aurelius. Appearances are transient, but virtue endures. Her beauty, her adjustments, her playful tone, they are signals, yes, but they are also temporary. What matters is whether her actions align consistently over time. But in the motivational sense, you must recognize the power here. If she enhances her femininity in your presence, it means she perceives you as worthy of that energy. She does not do it for everyone. She does it because she wants your attention, your acknowledgement, even your validation, though she may never admit it. Look carefully. Is she dressing differently when she knows she will see you? Does her voice soften when she speaks to you, compared to others? Does she laugh a little louder at your jokes than at anyone else's? These are not accidents. These are signals of attraction wrapped in the performance of femininity. Your task is not to be fooled by the surface, but to calmly enjoy the truth it reveals. She wants to be seen by you, and more importantly, She wants you to see her as desirable. Part 5. She creates opportunities to be around you. Attraction is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers. One of the clearest signs that a woman is deeply drawn to you is when she creates small, almost invisible opportunities to cross paths with you. She might suddenly appear in the same social circle. She might accidentally walk the same route as you. She might ask seemingly trivial questions just to spark a conversation. Zizek would say this is the logic of ideology at work. We convince ourselves that these encounters are chance, but they are carefully structured by unconscious desire. When a woman is deeply attracted, she engineers proximity. She arranges the stage so that you must play a role in her scene. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. You cannot control whether she arranges to be near you, but you can control how you interpret it. If you assume it is coincidence, you miss the depth of attraction. If you assume it is desperation, you become arrogant. The wise man sees it for what it is, her way of silently saying, I want to share space with you. From a motivational angle, this should fill you not with pride, but with calm confidence. You do not need to chase. If she is consistently finding ways to be in your orbit, the attraction is real. Perhaps she asks for help with something trivial, even though she could easily solve it herself. Perhaps she lingers longer in conversation with you than with others. Perhaps she laughs, smiles, and finds excuses to keep the interaction alive. Remember, attraction is rarely shouted from the rooftops. More often, it is woven into the fabric of daily life. A woman deeply attracted to you will make sure you are never too far away, even if she hides this intention under the mask of casual interaction. The key here is awareness. Do not push, do not rush. Simply recognize it, stay composed, and allow the attraction to build naturally. As Seneca reminds us, time discovers truth. If she is always near, always present, always finding reasons to linger, the truth is already revealed. She is drawn to you, even if her words have not yet spoken. It aloud. A woman who feels deep attraction rarely reveals it in a straight line. Instead, she introduces small tests, questions that seem casual but carry hidden weight, jokes that push your boundaries, or playful provocations meant to measure your response. Žižek would say that this is the structure of desire itself. It requires obstacles. Desire without resistance collapses into boredom. So when a woman teases you, challenges you, or even pretends to withdraw her attention, she is not destroying attraction. She is sustaining it. She is creating the necessary drama that keeps desire alive. Now, from a Stoic perspective, this is your moment of discipline. Epictetus reminds us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If you crumble under her teasing, become defensive, or overreact, you reveal insecurity. But if you remain calm, laugh, and respond with light strength, you pass the test. This is not about being cold. It is about showing that you are not enslaved by the need to be constantly approved. When she throws small challenges, it is not to push you away, but to see if you can stand firm without losing your balance. Remember, attraction is not only about charm, it is about respect. So the next time she tests you with sarcasm, silence, or playful contradictions, do not panic. See it as a sign. A woman who feels nothing does not bother to test you. A woman who feels deeply attracted wants to know if you can handle her fire. Part 7. She remembers the small details about you. Attraction speaks in memory. When a woman recalls the tiny details about your life, your favorite drink, a story you told weeks ago, even the way you once described your ambitions, it is a sign that she has been listening with intent. Zizek would argue that this is the power of fantasy at work. Desire is not about the obvious. It is about stitching together fragments, weaving meaning from the little things. When she remembers the smallest aspects of you, she is building her own private narrative with you at the center. From the Stoic point of view, this reveals the true nature of value. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you occupy her thoughts long enough for her to recall details, you have colored her soul. She cannot forget you because her mind keeps painting you into her daily reflections. Practically, this looks simple. She mentions your past conversations. She surprises you by remembering preferences. She notices when something about you changes. But beneath the surface, it is profound. Memory is attention, and attention is desire. If she remembers what others forget, it is because her attraction to you compels her to store you within her inner world. And this is not done casually. It is always done with emotion. Ending, the Stoic lesson in attraction. Now that we have explored these 7 signs, the gaze that lingers and retreats, the body that orients toward you, the mirroring of your movements, the amplification of femininity, the creation of opportunities, the playful tests and the memory of small details, we return to the larger lesson. Slavoj Žižek shows us that attraction is never simple. It is filled with paradoxes, masks, and unconscious theater. It is the play of desire revealing itself in symbols, not always in words. Stoicism, however, grounds us in wisdom. It reminds us not to be blinded by appearances or enslaved by desire, but to interpret signals with calm strength. The motivational truth is this: if you want to truly recognize when a woman is deeply attracted to you, do not look only at her words. Watch her patterns. Watch what repeats again and again. For desire is not revealed once. It insists, it returns, it echoes. And above all, remember, your power does not come from chasing signs, but from standing firm in your value. The man who remains steady, observant, and composed becomes irresistible, not because he seeks validation, but because he does not need it. So as you walk through life, carry this Stoic lesson. Recognize attraction, yes, but never be ruled by it. For the man who rules himself becomes the man others are drawn to, again and again and again.